What if I told you there is a way to learn anything faster than you ever believed possible? A way used by top-performing individuals, the kind of people who absorb information quickly, stay laser-focused, and transform knowledge into real-life skills with incredible speed. Imagine this. You pick up a new skill, and instead of struggling for months, you start improving within days. You read a book chapter and actually remember it. You watch a tutorial and apply it the same night. Your brain becomes sharper, quicker, more awake. This isn't magic, it's a system, a method, a way of training your mind. And today, on Deep Narrator, I will take you through the 5-part learning framework used by some of the fastest learners on the planet. By the end of this video, you won't just know how to learn faster, you'll feel like a different version of yourself entirely. Let's begin. Master the essentials first. Everything else becomes easier. One of the biggest mistakes in learning is trying to learn everything at once. Most people read entire books, watch long courses, or jump into skills without knowing what matters most. This leads to frustration, burnout, and slow progress. Fast learners do something completely different. They identify the core 20% of information that produces 80% of their results. Here's why this works so well. Your brain hates overload. When you give your mind too much information, it becomes confused and loses direction. But when the path is clear, your brain focuses more deeply. The brain learns faster when it understands the why. When you know what matters most, every other detail becomes easier to understand. The essential basics form the foundation. Just like you can't build a house without a strong base, you can't master a skill without understanding its core structure. For example, learning a language. Start with the 500 most used words, not complicated grammar. Learning to code. Focus on logic and patterns before frameworks. Learning to draw. Master shapes, proportions, and light, not advanced techniques. Learning anything new. Ask yourself, what are the key components that everything else depends on? Once you master the essentials, everything else becomes simple, natural, and intuitive. Fast learners don't learn more, they learn smart. You don't learn by consuming information, you learn by remembering it. Most people think learning happens when you read, watch, or listen, but true learning happens when you try to recall information without looking. This process forces your brain to build strong neural connections. Think of it this way. Your brain is like a library, but a library is useless if you can't find the book you need. Immediate recall is the practice of pulling information out of your mind right after learning it. Here's how it works. 1. Learn something new. 2. Close your book or pause your video. 3. Try to explain what you just learned without checking. This simple habit can double or even triple how fast you learn. Why? Recall strengthens memory. The more you retrieve information, the more permanent it becomes. Recall exposes what you don't understand. When you try to repeat an idea and fail, you realize exactly where the gaps are. Recall trains your brain to think actively. Passive learning says forgetting. Active learning, say remembering. High-performance learners recall constantly, after a lesson, after a chapter, after a conversation. If you make this your habit, your memory and understanding will radically improve. Understanding is not enough. Application turns knowledge into power. Here's something most people never realize. Your brain locks in information only when you use it. This is why the learn, use, teach loop is so effective. Let's break it down. Step 1. Learn it. Get the idea. Understand it. Clarify it. Step 2. Use it immediately, even if you're not perfect, even if you're unsure, even if it feels messy. The moment you use information, your brain says, this is important. Step 3. Teach it. Teaching is the ultimate test of understanding. When you try to explain something, you are organizing your thoughts, simplifying the idea, identifying the gaps, strengthening your memory. You don't need a classroom. You can teach by talking out loud, writing notes, or explaining to a friend. The loop turns information into skill. This is why some people learn a skill in weeks, while others struggle for years. They don't wait. They don't plan forever, they act. Your brain remembers what it feels, not what it reads. This part is powerful. The human mind doesn't store information like a computer. It stores experiences, emotions, and associations. When something feels important, your brain keeps it. When something feels boring, your brain deletes it. Fast learners use this truth to their advantage through a technique called emotional encoding. How? They attach feelings to the information they learn. Here are examples. Turn a fact into a story. Turn a concept into an image in your mind. Associate new knowledge with a personal experience. Create a funny or strange visual memory. Imagine yourself using the skill in the future. When you do this, your brain stops treating information as words and starts treating it as experiences. And the brain never forgets experiences. People who learn fast don't memorize. They visualize, they feel, they connect. Once you do this, learning becomes natural and effortless. If you don't use a new idea within 24 hours, you lose it. This is one of the most powerful and most ignored principles in fast learning. Your brain has a simple rule: use it or lose it. If you learn something today and never apply it, your mind considers it unimportant and begins to erase it to save energy. Fast learners do the opposite. They act quickly. They practice early. They experiment, even if they're not ready. They apply small pieces of information immediately. They don't wait until they're good. They don't wait until they're prepared. They don't wait until the right time. They know that action creates clarity. Action builds confidence. Action transforms knowledge into ability. Here are examples of 24-hour activation. Learned a new word? Use it today. Learned a concept? Explain it tonight. Learned a technique? Practice it once. Learned a method? Try it in a real situation. Learned a strategy? Apply the smallest possible version of it. Even a 10-second action is enough to lock in the learning. Because the brain says, this information matters, keep it. Fast learners don't store information, they activate it. And that's the difference. You don't need to learn faster than everyone else. You only need to learn smarter. Focus on the essentials, recall immediately, apply quickly, teach what you know, attach emotion to information, and activate everything within 24 hours. If you do these 5 steps, your ability to learn will change forever. You'll understand more, remember more, and grow faster than you ever believed possible. And now I want to ask you, what is the first skill you want to learn faster? Tell me in the comments. I read every single one. If this video from Deep Narrator helped you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, so you never miss a new transformation. Your journey starts now. Let's go deeper. Let's rise higher, together.